Hey yo, peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. You know what I'm saying? We are back with another episode of It's Just a Thought. You know what I'm saying? Just a thought. You know what I'm talking about? It's been a long week. Last week we missed you, man. I had to go and do some things out of town, but like I said, man, every Wednesday at 7:30, man, we're gonna be doing this show live on the podcast. You know what I'm saying, man? We're gonna start having guests coming in. Sharing their thoughts and everything that they've been doing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just keep on rocking with me. Today's show, man, we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about relationships, how they start, how they begin, how they end, how they get into all these different things, you know what I'm saying? Like how a relationship just takes on so much and can be so much for people when in reality, man, we just learn how to be able to straight up coexist and be able to let each other be, man. We be able to learn the deepest part of unconditional love. So this the boy Jarmel Reese, man. This is Just a Thought, man. Make sure y'all checking in, get back into it. Let me hit that intro on y'all boys, you know. Hey yo, peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just a Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See you soon. So we back, man. Like I said, man, this is just a thought. You know what I'm saying? This does not have to be your views of how you see things. This is just my way of being able to see things, man. This is just my thoughts. So today, man, I'm going to open up with a video like I always do. I'm going to open up with a video that I've just searched online, looking at some things about how relationships break down and how relationships go from being like this to being like nothing anymore. So check this video out. I'll be right back. Comment on this video, you know what I'm saying? Check it out.
Many people, after they've been in a couple for some time, will privately admit that they are, in many ways, frustrated and disappointed by the person they've chosen to share their lives with. If pressed for details, they will have no difficulty coming up with a list. Their partner, they might complain, is too loyal to their irritating family, or doesn't share their views on the layout of the living room, or never wants to go on camping holidays, or plays tennis every Wednesday evening no matter what, or doesn't like Moroccan food, or doesn't share their enthusiasm for 19th century Russian novels, or has a habit of adding actually to every second sentence when it's actually redundant. As the list gets longer, they sigh. They still love their partner, and they long to be happy together. It's just that it seems impossibly complicated to make this relationship work. What's driving the frustration is not that they've sadly fallen for an idiot as a mate. It's rather that we have all inherited needlessly complicated ideas of what a relationship is supposed to be for. We are told that love is meant to involve the almost total merger of two lives. We expect that a loving couple must live in the same house, eat the same meals together every night, share the same bed, go to sleep and get up at the same time, only ever have sex with, or even sexual thoughts about each other, regularly see each other's families, have all their friends in common, and pretty much think the same thoughts on every topic at every moment. It's a beautiful vision, but a hellish one too, because it places an impossibly punitive burden of expectation on another human. We feel the partner must be right for us in every way, and if they're not, has to be prodded and cajoled into reform. But there is another perspective. Relationships don't have to be so complicated and ambitious if we keep in view what in the end actually makes them fulfilling. If we boil matters down, there might really just be three essential things that we want from a lover. Firstly, kindness. A partner who is gentle with our imperfections and can good-humouredly tolerate us as we are. Secondly, shared vulnerability. Someone with whom we can be open about our anxieties, worries, and the problems that throw us off balance. Someone we don't have to put on a good front for. Someone around whom we can be weak, vulnerable, and honest, and who will be the same around us. Thirdly, understanding. Someone who is interested in and can make sense of certain obscure features of our minds, our obsessions, preoccupations, and ways of seeing the world, and whom we are excited to understand in turn.
So just to piggyback a little bit off of that video, you know what I'm saying? It talks about we have these expectations that we set for people. And I think that's the main thing about relationships that we go into with these expectations. We're looking for somebody to complete us when we should already be complete when we step into a relationship. You should already be wherever that is that you need to be. And if you're not, you may need to be able to step back. Having unconditional love for your partner is not unrealistic. I remember I made a statement one day and I was talking about how I said unconditional. I said, why is that we can't give unconditional love? And someone said unconditional love only comes from your children. And I was like blown away by that statement, because if it's anybody that has the most conditions on their love, it's children, especially when you're not doing something for them. They have all the conditions in the world to be able to why you're not this type of parent or this type of way. Same goes with a mate. When you stop doing this or you're not doing this for them, you know, I feel like, and it's not that I'm not a gentleman. I'm a gentleman all the way around the board, and I don't need you to be able to tell me that I'm a gentleman because I'm going to always be one. But if the trash is full, you should pick it up and you should take it out the same way you've been taking it out before I met you. I shouldn't have these expectations that you should do this for me, and you shouldn't have these same expectations that I should do this for you. I should just be a piece of your happiness. You should already be happy. And if I'm the reason why you're happy, or I'm the reason for this, then you need to reevaluate the way that you do love, because that's putting too much on a person. They should just be part of your happiness. If you're looking for everything from one person, it's something wrong with that. You're never going to be able to get that one thing, that everything from one person. It's not happening. Just like being around that person, like being this. This is where they just come in and they're actually just being loving, and they're just not hurting your happiness, because you already have happiness. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can be able to come in and be able to take me for a ride and be like, hey, you're my everything. Basically, making somebody my everything. I could never be able to go and do that. You have to be able to be centered in yourself. And I think that's where relationships take the turn at, is because they have too many expectations on top of them. And I call it survivor relationships. And what I mean by survivor relationship is when somebody makes more money than the other person, but this person hustles more than this person. So you fill in the gaps where you guys are not whole at. So you kind of like, basically in that way, you're basically trying to complete each other. But in a relationship where someone actually has everything that they're going for, like, I'm going towards my dreams, I'm living out my dreams, I'm doing the things that I'm doing, you doing the things that you're doing. It's not a survivor relationship. I don't need you. I'm actually at my highest form to be able to match you and match your intensity, where I'm not trying to get something from you. Most of these relationships sometimes are just being able to try to get something from somebody. And no, you can't get anything from anybody. The only thing you can expect for somebody to do is to be themselves. It's already hard enough being a human being for yourself and living in your own body. It's too much to be able to try to take on to be something else for somebody else. You can't do that. So here's another video. I'm going to play another video. And check this out.
Suffer a loss of trust in another person as someone in whom we can safely deposit our love and whom we believe can be kind and understanding of our needs. The ruptures are often quite small, and to outside observers perhaps imperceptible. One person fails to respond warmly to another's greeting. Someone tries to explain an idea to their partner, who shrugs and says offhandedly that they have no idea what they're on about. In front of friends, a lover shares an anecdote which casts the partner in a less than flattering light. Or the rupture can be more serious. Someone calls someone a stupid fool and slams a door. A birthday is forgotten. An affair begins. The point about ruptures is that they say nothing in themselves about a relationship's prospects of survival. There might be constant, rather grave ruptures and no breakup. Or there might be one or two tense moments over a minor disagreement, and then things head towards collapse. So what determines the difference is something that psychotherapists are especially keen to teach us about: the capacity for what they term repair. Repair refers to the work needed for two people to regain each other's trust and restore themselves in the other's mind as someone who is essentially decent and sympathetic and can be a good enough interpreter of their needs. As psychotherapy points out, repair isn't just one capacity among others. It is arguably the central determinant of one's mastery of emotional maturity.
So, even in these relationships nowadays, like, people don't want to repair anything. They just want it to be what it is. And to be always honest with you, to even start to begin to be in a relationship, you need to ask yourself, where did you even know where to start to be able to be in a relationship, right? So for me, and this is just me speaking for myself, right? I could look back on my life and be like, man, I was raised by my mother. My father was in jail most of my life when I was a kid. So, okay, my mother got married when I was probably about 10 or 11 or 12 something years old, right? So from the time that I was born to the time I was 7 or any of those type of things, which is the most developmental years in a child's life, I never seen the healthy relationship. Meaning, I've never seen the healthy relationship between a man and a woman. I didn't see, to be always honest with you, I never seen the healthy a relationship with a man and a woman as far as being married until later on down the line in my life. You know what I'm saying? So when I got into relationships, and as I've gotten older, I started realizing, where did I get these ideas of relationships? Where did I see a healthy relationship? Where did I see a man and a woman actually even being together? Where did I get these ideas of where did this start at? I remember when when my mother she wasn't with anybody. And even when she was, it was like, it wasn't, I didn't see anything. So those are, even when I saw other people that were in relationships, they were dysfunctional relationships. I never seen anybody being with each other. Most of the people that I saw was drug dealers. Those were like the cats in my hood. They used to give us candy and give us money to play basketball and all this different type of stuff. These was the role models. And most of them cats was players. They had multiple women. So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have my father around at the time. So these was the guys I was seeing around. You know what I'm saying? So these are the people that I'm thinking that this is the relationship that I'm supposed to be in. Most of the girls that I knew that was being raised just by their mothers was like, that boy ain't nothing. Because them girls' mothers didn't have a man. So they would talk bad about men and didn't have a man and didn't have the understanding of what even a man was. So they was passing that down to the women, and the little girls that was coming outside was giving us that same type of energy. Like, they don't need us. They don't need us. And so you don't even know where to even begin with these bad relationships. You take on bad relationships from the things that you see inside of your own household. So you trace that back to your parents. Most of the time, and don't get this twisted, because there's people who walk around here who have parents that have been married for 30 and 40 years. But see, here's the problem with that. It don't mean just because you was with somebody for 30 and 40 years that you were happy. And that's what we're talking about in relationships, man. It's about learning how to be happy for yourself. You know, I've just gotten to you got to get to this place in your life, man, that nobody can take your peace. Or if you can't ever get to that place, you're going to continue to constantly run to each relationship, keep running from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, because nobody's ever going to be good enough. Nobody's ever going to be good enough. And the reality is that it's not that somebody else isn't good enough. It's that you haven't took the time to realize that you're good enough for yourself. See, all these other relationships that you have with other people aren't even valid. They don't even matter if you don't have a relationship with yourself. See, most people try to skip the idea of having a relationship with yourself. But let me tell you something. If you have no reservation, let me pull on the close camera. If you have no reservations of taking yourself out, buying yourself flowers, buying yourself, taking yourself out to a nice meal, buying yourself a nice car to be able to ride around in, if you have no reservations to be able to do that for yourself, then you should have none for anybody else to be able to do that. Because you're making another human being live up to an expectation that you are not even willing to live up to even be able to take care of you. If you won't date you, or you haven't even begun to date you, you shouldn't even begin to think about telling somebody how to date you, because you haven't even gotten the idea of how to date yourself. And that's just that's just a thought. That's just a thought. You don't have to take it. You don't have to agree with it. But understand where I'm coming from, and this is not me coming from a perspective of speculating. This is a perspective of, learning for myself. I've had to date myself. And it's cool to fall back. It's cool to sit out the way. It's cool to be able to go and do whatever it is that you feel like being able to do. And the reality of it is that you should be able to be in a relationship just like that. I don't want to, I want to be in a relationship where, I don't need to be cool with your friends. I don't need to be your friends' friends. I'm okay with that. Long as you know that I got my friends. I don't care if they male, female, whatever your friends are, you could be able to have your friends and be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. Long as you're not bothering me. Because I want to go and kick it with my friends too. I want to be able to live my life the same way that you want to be able to live yours. And I don't want to be able to intervene those things. You know what I'm saying? My friends are my friends. Your friends are your friends. We kick it. We hang with each other. And that's what makes a relationship a good relationship. It's when you give each other space. It's when you learn how to be able to give each other the most space. Is when you're able to take a relationship to another level. Because we're all little mini planets. We're all little mini planets that come from this infinite God. We're all little gods, all little universes. And the one thing that all little universes need in this world is space. So sometimes when you think that you're in a relationship with somebody that you got to be able to be with them every dying moment, you got to be with them doing this. It's actually the opposite. It's when you learn how to be able to back off. And when you learn how to be able to let somebody just be who they are. Because believe it or not, if you didn't notice, that person was living before they met you. I'm going to repeat this. If you don't believe it or not, that person was actually living before they met you. And they were doing just fine. So when you come in a relationship and you think someone's broken, or you think somebody needs you, nobody needs you to do that for them. We're all love. We're all made in that image. We are all made in the image of God. We are all love. Nobody needs you to be more love for them. Nobody needs you to do this for them. Nobody needs you to give them love. They are love. Just continue to be you. Because when you're trying to give something to somebody, they're going to resist it. They're going to resist it because guess what? They full of love already. They think they know they full of love. They feel the energy inside of them. You don't have to be all these things for anybody. You don't have to repair anybody. Nobody's broken. Nobody's broken. And I think that's the main things that we get in these relationships. We start thinking that somebody's broken, and nobody is broken. The only thing is that you've been telling yourself you're broke. I am this, I am that, I am that. You got to walk in confidence because it's a mirror. Pretty soon, before you know it, you'll meet someone that'll make you have to see the darkest, ugly truth about yourself. You'll meet someone that makes you have to see the darkest, ugliest truth about yourself. And it becomes a mirror. To the point where you see this person and you have to learn how to be able to let go. You have to learn how to be able to let go. Because the things that keep us bonded in relationships is that we don't know how to let go. We just don't. We think we gotta be here and teach people something. You can't teach anybody anything. You don't have to teach anybody anything. They are made in the same image and they have the same 24 hours and the same opportunities that you have. That's where we get so caught up in the relationships that we take them for granted and we throw too much on a person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we definitely got to be able to learn how to be able to do better. I think that just moving forward, learning how to just be unconditional love at all times. I've had to be able to step back myself and just be able to really let people just be who they are. No strings attached, no judgment, because I got control of my own life. So if it's nothing no one can be able to do to me, no one can hurt me, nobody can do anything to me. I've had to learn that. I remember I used to hear people and they'd be like, they cheated on me, or they did this to me, and they did that to me, and they did this to me, and it's me. Nobody can do anything to you. Nobody can take anything from you. Nobody can hurt you. Nobody can. Life is happening for you at all times. It's not happening to you. Even when somebody thinks that they're doing something to block you, they just setting you up and catapulting you up to your next blessing. But we so caught up in trying to get even, or trying to get back, or looking at what somebody's done to us, that we have missed the blessing and missed the real relationship that we have. And that's the one with ourselves that connects us with the Most High. See, all these other relationships are cool. But if you can't have the ultimate connection and the ultimate relationship, then you never learn how to be able to share space with somebody. You never learn how to be able to share space with anybody because you're too busy caught up in what it is that you're doing for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play a little bit more of this video, and we'll get back into it. All right?
It is what identifies us as true adults. Good repair relies on at least 4 separate skills. Firstly, the ability to apologize. A sorry may not be as easy as it sounds, for it isn't just a few warm words one has to say. The true cost is to one's self-love. If one's already on the verge of finding oneself somewhat intolerable, then the call to concede yet another point, to own up to being still more foolish, emotionally unbalanced, controlling, hot-tempered, or vain, can feel like a demand too far. We may opt to dig in and avoid a sorry, not because we're overly pleased with ourselves, but precisely because our unworthiness feels so painfully obvious to us already and lends us no faith to imagine that any apologies we did make could arouse the kind of forbearance and kindness we crave, and yet so badly feel we don't deserve. Secondly, the ability to forgive. There can be equal difficulty around being able to accept an apology. To do so requires us to extend imaginative sympathy for why good people, which includes us, can end up doing some pretty bad things. Not because they are evil, but because they are, in their varied ways, tired or sad, worried or weak. A forgiving outlook lends us energy to look around for the most generous reasons why fundamentally decent people can, at points, behave less than optimally.
And see, right there, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a point, right? Exactly. Man, two good people can be in one bad relationship, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that happens, you know, because somebody goes and do something that's not of them, you know. Sometimes you could be in a relationship with a man, woman, and I can only give my perspective as a man, but being in a relationship with a woman and feeling like you're less of whatever it is at that particular time, and that person making you feel like you less, you know, you go out and go and do some things that you might go out and go cheat. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying, that's definitely on you, but, you know, especially when you're not at that place of being able to have confidence in yourself and being able to be at the place that you want to be for yourself as a man, you're very vulnerable. And so you'll go out and go and do some things that you may regret later. And you end up being labeled as this man that wants to cheat on his woman or do some things. In reality, sometimes you just want to feel more appreciated. And the same as a woman, you know, when women get cheated on, you know, it burns a little bit more, because sometimes, man, they take that situation and they move it on to relationship, you know. Same thing with a man, you know, just everybody. We take these things and we move on from relationship, and we never heal, you know. And it doesn't make us bad people. It just makes us people that need to be able to learn how to heal. And sometimes just being able to take a step back and being able to reevaluate the situation for what it is, and not judging yourself in the moment for what it is that happened at that particular time. It's just a moment. It happened. You know, you were vulnerable, you were weak, you had a moment, but it takes a lot to be able to forgive. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that at some level of life, we have to learn how to be able to forgive just as much as we are to be able to receive. You know? Forgiving takes a lot, but it also takes a lot of healing, especially if you want to be able to move on in relationships. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's always good being able to talk to y'all, man. This is a love session, you know what I'm saying? Anything that you may be feeling, you can always leave messages, you can leave comments. Also, you can inbox me, leave messages, and let me know, man. Maybe if you want to come on the show, I got you coming on the show. Got a bunch of guests that'll be coming on. Also, if you want to be able to leave stars for me on Facebook, you can leave stars for me. You can also be able to leave something in the super chat for me on YouTube. All that good stuff. You can go ahead and donate if you want to JarmelReese.live. Man, we trying to build an empire. Also, man, like I always do have, man, I got the plant-based products. You know what I'm saying? We got the shampoo. We got the clothes. The fabric softener. We got toothpaste. We do everything plant-based, you know what I'm saying? So if you're interested in those products as well, make sure you hit me up on JarmelReese.live on our platforms. You can hit me in my inbox and let me know what it is. Man, we'll be back next week with the same show. Maybe I have a guest next week. Let me see who I can reach out to. Maybe I'll get a couple of guests to be able to come on next week and we'll be talking a couple of things, man. So until then, man, I'm getting ready to leave y'all with the video of the week. It's peace and blessings, blessings and peace, blessings and peace. Ain't came out yet, but I'm going to play this video for y'all, man. The new song, Blessings and Peace, that's going to be coming off the new album, Free. It's peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you showing some love you like. And, yeah, make sure you tune in every Wednesday to Just a Thought. Peace. Yeah. So you gotta understand where I come from to be able to give it up, you know what I'm saying? For real.
JLD.
Let the prayers go up. Let the prayers go up. Watch the blessings come down. Yep. Down. See, they do anything to blow up. Yeah. Up. Cause they don't wanna be down. Down. Let the prayers go up. Let the prayers go up. Watch the blessings come down. Watch the blessings come down. See, they do anything to blow up. Yeah. Cause they don't wanna be down. Down. Check. Living my life, man. Up in the fast lane. Driving them cars, chasing them bras, living that life, man. Shed tears, my auntie died. Same ones my partner died. Talking like it's just you and I. Between you and I thought suicide. Rain came before the night came. Night came before the rain came. How I'm supposed to just stay sane? I seen a drive by that made my life change. Dead broke, I was so impatient. Never knew how much time was wasted. Never knew it was an elevation. Then I tapped in and doing meditation. Yo, my life is on 10. I'm chasing the source. See, I ain't chasing no status. Manifesting my dreams. I'm reaching my goals. Why you keep repeating them patterns? Be there for my fam. Be there for my kids. To me, that's the stuff that just matters. Be there for my fam. Be there for my kids. To me, that's the stuff that just matters. Let the prayers go up. Watch the blessings come down. Yep. Down. See, they do anything to blow up. Yeah. Cause they don't wanna be down. Down. Let the prayers go up. Let the prayers go up. Watch the blessings come down. Watch the blessings come down. See, they do anything to blow up. Turn the music up though. Cause they don't wanna be down. Down. Check. Everything was a process. Kinda hard for me to digest. Now it's time to move forward here. Ain't no time for me to regress. They don't know about the drama. They don't know about the trauma. Fist fights, gunfights, even had to fight for me to be a father. They don't know, cause all that pain I don't show. I just keep smiling, cause in the end I know the light is show. Hey yo, go peep the scenario. See all that stress, I had to let it go. See all that control, I had to let it go. Cause all that stuff ain't serving, bro. See, I ain't never gotta go lie to y'all. Cause I ain't never trying to sell face for y'all. Cause you don't even trust your damn self. So why would I put my faith in y'all? See, y'all said he talking about last year, but last year was my last year. Trying to live off y'all expectations. Cause I would always have to live in fear. Let the prayers go up. Let the prayers go up. Watch the blessings come down. Down. See, they do anything to blow up. Yeah. It is what it is. Cause they don't wanna be down. Down. Let the prayers go up. Let the prayers go up. Watch just living for everybody else's expectations, you know what I'm saying? See, they do anything to blow up. What's your expectations for yourself? Cause they don't wanna be down. It doesn't have to be what everybody else say it has to be. You know what I'm saying? Reach your own goals. Being successful isn't who has the most money, it's the person who's doing what they want to be doing at that particular time and being happy for the moment. Being thankful, being grateful. Live in the now. We live too far away from ourselves that we don't even value the days that we have right now. I'm thankful for every day, man. It's a blessing. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. 100. Healing and forgiveness. Not holding on. Hold on for what? To have control or something like that. Think about trying to be able to have control of the greatest energy in the world.